Very good morning. It's a great pleasure to see that a lot of people in the morning, everyone is fresh here. This is the first occasion where I got the invitation from Aditi, the young lady. She is invited almost 3 months back, and she has blocked my date that I should be here on the PAC Next second edition on packaging conference, which will be highlighting on sustainable packaging, active, intelligent, and smart packaging. I'm really delighted to see that the organizer could invite. She was telling me about 47 speakers from all over India, across the country. She has invited here, and I could see that most importantly, almost 50% speakers who are from the alumni of Indian Institute of Packaging, where I spent my entire life. I worked in Indian Institute of Packaging for 32 years, and 10 years I was the director in all India. Almost 10,000 packaging professionals we could produce from the Indian Institute of Packaging since 1987 when I joined the institute. But today this professional, I find Sanjay Ghoshal is here. He's the head of packaging from DIGO and many more. And today the most importantly, this professional who has been the alumni of Indian Institute of Packaging, they are the leader in the entire FMCG company in India today. And most importantly, I feel proud that today's the Indian packaging standards, which has been upgraded with a great contribution by this packaging professional who are from IIP. I really salute to them for their great contribution for the country. Give a big hand to all the IIP alumni. I personally feel that their contribution has really made the entire packaging scenario in the country in terms of the standards of packaging, in terms of you talk about the design, the development, and today everybody is talking about the sustainable packaging. All of you must be knowing this sustainable word which was there for a long time in the dictionary. But all of a sudden we find the last 10 years we have been all talking about sustainability. We talk about sustainable packaging, we talk about sustainable environment, we talk about sustainable business, sustainable, all kind of the word has come the sustainability. Many of you might be knowing what is the fact behind that, why this word the sustainability has come. Let me go back in 2015. 2015, the latest edition of United Nations World Population, which was published by the World Economic Forum, they have indicated that 2100, that is 2100 century, the world population will touch to 10.4 billion from 2015, which was 7.2 billion. It also said that 2020, 2100, it will reach to 10.4 billion. And that has created a huge concern to the globally that our planet, our natural resource set in terms of water, in terms of land, in terms of the atmosphere where the oxygen is very important for breathing, everything, the resources will be a scarcity by the 2100, what to be done when the next generation would come. And that was the global concern in 2015 it was started. And considering this scarcity, in between there was a lot of discussion started about the marine pollution. There was a publication by the United Nations 2015 on the 10th of July. They have published that the kind of plastics what we have been using over the period of time, when this plastic goes ultimately to the ocean, the accumulation of plastics material below the ocean water, which will be 10 times more than the fish population. And what the fish will eat, they might eat the plastic. And that has become a big concern that if the plastic will become a carcinogenic, if the plastic will be health concern and on all these issues. So the marine pollution was one of the aspects it was coming. The more important was the world population. The world population, you find the trend is still continuing. In 2024, the world population today is 8.2 billion. And Indian share is around 1.45 billion. And it will be touching to 1.51 billion by 2030, and we will be overtaking the China. And China will be that time 1.426 billion. 2030, the world population, considering this 10.4 billion, it will reach to 8.5 billion. That's published by the World Economic Forum. And where the population of India and China, they will occupy almost 1/3 of the world population. That shows very clearly that time would come, we'll find every one person in the three of them, they will be either Indian or Chinese. And that shows the country, how this world population is moving. This has triggered all of us to understand more about the sustainable environment and to save the planet. Now, if you look at about the concern about the United Nations, the United Nations say that environmental sustainability is to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. That shows that whatever we are doing today, we can do it, but without making any harmful effect for the next generation. And that's the whole concern. And that's why we find the sustainability will become very important. We talk sustainable environment, sustainable business, sustainable anything. We are all from packaging. We talk about sustainable packaging. When you talk about packaging material, all of you will agree with me, there are four major packaging material. Start with paper, which is developed in China about 300th century, then came to the glass, then the metal, and plastic is the youngest material. It just came in 1914. It's a story of about 110-year story, but those material was long back. Very interestingly, out of the four material, all the three material, the sources are from natural resources. For example, if you take paper, it's come from the wood. Of course, in India, we don't make from wood, we make from bagasse, or mainly the biomass material like paddy stubbles. We use the wheat straw, rice straw, and all kind of thing. And they are, of course, biodegradable, they are very sustainable, and people feel that the paper is the most important packaging material. But the problem is, if you do the LCA study, the life cycle analysis, 1 kg of paper to manufacture, you need 100 liters of water. So that way the LCA fails. So paper is the first option, is ruled out. Go to the second material is called glass. Glass is another natural material. The resources are natural resources. It's a combination of sand or silica, ash and soda ash. And it's a natural material, recyclable, very sustainable, but it's a high energy consumption. The melting point of glass is 1500 degrees centigrade. So that way it cannot be a sustainable material. Then it goes to the next is the metal. It's again a natural resources. For metal is a element, metal or aluminum, tin or aluminum, it comes from the nature. But the melting point is too high, so it's an energy consumption. When we do the LCA study, we need to know water consumption, energy consumption, heat, and so on. So among all these four, again, we find plastics. This is one of the material which is just 110 years old story. This is the material, it is LCA is in the top line, because their energy is much less than any of the three material. The water consumption is almost negative, nil, and that way we find that the plastic is supposed to be the number one among these four material. Don't think that I'm talking on pro-plastic. I'm only trying to say what is that today we are talking sustainable packaging. That's the reason we are all talking that let's talk about sustainable environment. Very interestingly, despite of having plastics, all the plus point, only the negative part and the whole hue and cry is talking about post-consumer plastics management. So we are all concerned about post-consumer plastic packaging management becoming the issue. It's nothing related to the material. Material is good. I always say in many forums, the plastic packaging is a boon, not for the curse. The polymer technologists and all the people who have been done so much development in the plastics even today, we don't find any other alternative material. And it has created a great concern about the 3R, all of you know, the reduce, recycle and reuse. And plastics, which in packaging we use either as a rigid plastic or a flexible plastic. And we find these plastics, if it is a single layer, like PET is a very well established. We find the mineral water bottle, and PET, because of the single layer and a single polymer, is very easily recyclable and is very sustainable. Most interesting, in India, that's the only packaging material, the collection mechanism is well established. And that's why it comes back. The study says, there was a study by Terry, it says that almost 86% of plastic bottle, it comes back through the collection. 14% goes to the littering, that is also being collected through the Kavadi wall and all. So that's a very, very interesting story, we find it. But we find MLP, which is the multi-layer flexible material which is made on the multi-material, that has become the most problematic because of the recyclability is a big issue. But the FMCG pro people, they like the multi-layer material. The studies say that 71% consumer, they prefer flexible packaging material because a lot of advantage, the sealability, printability, and the economical, and all kind of advantage. Most important, the barrier properties, which is very important for your enhancement of shelf life for food product. So MLP becomes one of the biggest issue what we are concerning. In fact, I am also associated to one of these NGO called Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability. We don't talk on sustainable packaging, we talk about responsible packaging. I feel that the end-to-end solution, all the stakeholders, start from the raw material, converter, user, everybody need to be responsible. How do you really collect the material and how do it go to recycling? And that's called a responsible packaging. In fact, we'll have a conference here in this hall in the month of June called responsible packaging. It also says that we have observed that there have been a lot of changes in the consumer behavior, especially when you talk of the new generation, what we say, Gen Z. Many Gen Z are here, so you find that a lot of changes has come. The Gen Zs, what is talking about the consumer lifestyle is changed, the food habit, more demand for the fast foods. They have a more health conscious and safety. They have a quick service emergent to the e-commerce has come, digitization, we find the convenience aspect, and of course they are more concerned than us about the environment, how to save the planet. All these changes has really created a demand for smart packaging. The smart packaging has come because of the changes demand which is coming for the future generation. Smart packaging, which is categorized in three areas. One, we talk about intelligent packaging, we talk about active packaging, and we talk about the collecting, which is called connected packaging. Intelligent packaging, which includes about the interactivity of the electronics like QR code, barcode, RFID, NFC tag, time temperature indicator, which you can see the spoilage indicator. You need not open the pack. You can see the product is already spoiled. You can have a ripening indicator. It's all called sensor based. That's called your intelligent packaging. Active packaging, which is different, where we have to incorporate some kind of additives. Like we put a silica gel, many of you see that. There's a moisture absorber, still we use in the grape box. That's called moisture absorber. We have an oxygen scavenger. We have an antimicrobial agent, which we incorporate in the film itself to enhance the shelf life of the meat products. So all these called active packaging. And now it's very new, it is all started called connected packaging. Connected packaging, it links to the cloud and they leverage the extensive data processing, tracking mechanism, trace and track, and that's the way the connected, we call the connected packaging has come. The study also said that this area, which is smart and intelligent and active packaging, globally the market is around 84.24 billion in 2023, and it should touch to 169.40 billion by 2032. That shows that this trend will be keep on going. I'm very happy that organizer has chosen this subject, the smart, intelligent, and active packaging, this will touch. And it also says that the active packaging and intelligent packaging, which is mainly employed to the food and pharma, mainly, and cosmetics. On the contrary, the connected packaging, which is mostly going to the logistic and supply chain management. So that's the way this whole thing. As a keynote, I thought that I should give you, summarize what this day-long conference would happen. Day-long conference, there are so many sessions, but everyone will be emphasizing only the three important aspects: the sustainable packaging, active packaging, and the intelligent packaging. And I think we'll have a very fruitful discussion throughout the day with the 47 speakers who will be talking, emphasizing on this important subject. With this, thank you so much, and welcome to all of you in this excellent conference on packaging. Thanks for your patience.
Requesting you to please stay here. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? And requesting Mr. Govt, please join me here on the stage for felicitating Dr. N.C. Saha. Thank you. A huge round of applause for Dr. N.C. Saha. Can we have a picture together? Yes. Thank you.